Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. Now of course, as you know, we've been grinding the assault rifles and we've managed to unlock everything you can possibly get for the AK-47. So I'm going to be showcasing all of the attachments available for you guys. I've got some really good weapon setups for you as well to maximize the capability of this weapon. I'm going to confidently say it's better than the Scar. I said it. Now of course, if you guys look top right, we have the weapon level at you can't unlock these skull camos, bro, if you haven't maxed out the weapon. Anyways, so with this weapon, the biggest issue with it is recoil. That's why for the muzzle, I've equipped the compensator, I can't say that word, the monolithic suppressor. The monolithic suppressor doesn't, it increases the damage range, and suppresses the sound, but you don't not turn up on the radar or anything like that, and I feel like the compensator is much more beneficial, especially given the recoil and the kick on this gun. Recoil, kick, same thing. You know what I mean? Now the barrels are really interesting for this weapon. I have a cool video coming out for you guys either today or tomorrow about like an AK-74U setup that I made with all the attachments available for this weapon. So you start out with the Spetsnaz Elite because it gives you more damage range and a bit more bullet velocity. But as I was leveling this weapon up, I was looking for that all important like recoil control statistic. Then the 23-inch RPK barrel came up. That really does affect your movement quite badly. So I used that for a few games. Then I went to the compact barrel, which is the one that looks like the AK-74U. If we jump in here, the gun looks tiny. This massively affects the recoil control, being that there is none. It's extremely difficult to control the weapon with this barrel, and it basically brings the range like massively down. Not necessarily power wise, but the recoil and accuracy is going to be all over the place, so you're going to want to play close up if you're running this short barrel. And then the last one you unlock, which is the one you guys are interested in, is the 23-inch Romanian. Which actually doesn't allow you to equip your own underbarrel, so no foregrips or anything like that. However, there is that recoil control stat that we were looking for, and there is a way you can counter this and make the gun, the mobility a lot better on the weapon. I'm going to show you guys that now. Quickly, here's the laser, tac laser for you guys if you wanted to look at it. It looks pretty cool, but I never use a laser. Now, before I show you how to balance out like the big barrel and its mobility, I want to talk to you guys about the optics. So usually when it comes to weapons with such like high recoil, I usually go with an optic sight because I don't know why, but personally it allows me to manage where the bullets are going a bit better and increases my accuracy a little bit more. With the Scar, I could learn to use the sights. They were nice and open, they weren't that crowded. The AK on the other hand, it throws the sights about a lot, and they're a little bit more crowded and harder to manage, so I'd really recommend putting on an optical reflex sight. The last one you unlock, similar to the Scar, is the thermal hybrid. This was kind of fun to use. I used it for a game or two, but the ADS when you're using this weapon, like using this attachment, it's gross. So I personally would recommend like a reflex sight or one of the mini reflexes. Now this is where it gets a bit more interesting because there are a lot of stocks available. There's even no stock available, which is pretty cool for the weapon. You can literally make it like tiny or you can make it massive. Depends on what you want, bro. So you start with the field LMG, the skeleton stock, which is one of the best stocks that you can possibly have on the weapon. Then you have, of course, no stocks. So if you want to counteract that mobility issue that presents itself when you put on like a 23-inch barrel, then you could just take the stock off. I'd recommend putting on the skeleton stock over just like taking the stock off altogether because it gives you movement speed, aim down sight speed, and aim walking movement speed as well. And the cons for this are aiming stability, which isn't too bad at all. The cons for no stock, however, is recoil control, and that is extremely apparent. So you need to be able to manage the recoil on this weapon, and you need to balance the mobility as well. The skeleton stock is ideal for that. The last stock that you unlock is the Forged Tac Ultralight. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've just said that line like 5 times. I don't know what, I just couldn't say it properly. Couldn't run it, it's not that good, plus it reduces your mobility, which is something that we don't want to deduct from this weapon. Let's have a look at the perks. We've got quite a few here that I used whilst ranking this weapon up, fully loaded being the main one. All the other ones I wouldn't really recommend running. The frangible disabling, frangible winning, like I never use any of that stuff. It wouldn't be something I'm using, it would be applied to the weapon and then I'd probably see the effect in it. I don't know, dude, trust me, fully loaded is good until you get like the other attachments that you want to put on your weapon, and then you want to get rid of that slot and you can just run the field upgrade, drop yourself a munitions box. You don't need fully loaded. Now if you guys want to have a look at the grips available to you, the last one you get is rubberized grip tape, which is really good because it has that all important plus of recoil control. Before I unlocked this, which you unlock, in the very latter stages of this weapon's levels, I was running the granulated grip tape, purely because of the ADS statistic. But when you unlock rubberized grip tape, make sure you run it because it really does manage the weapon like perfectly. Now when it comes to ammunition, we have actually quite a few interesting things. So we have the 40 round mags, but the second you add like a different mag or you change the mag from the default, it affects movement speed. So the 40 round mag, wouldn't really recommend it. You've got 30 rounds, you've got an extremely high power weapon, there's no need for it, honestly. Additionally, you can add this magazine instead, which is a lower caliber magazine, which would therefore, you know, bring down the recoil and things like that, but it also deducts damage, and the damage is one of the like really nice stats about the AK. It just tears through people. So if you want to, you know, rush perhaps, or you're using sort of the AK-74U setup, which I'll be showing you guys in a video, you know, in a couple of days, then perhaps you could run this mag. Then you have the 75 round drum mag, which is just ridiculous, mate. You can basically build an RPK out of this. This is the attachment that notably brings down the mobility of this weapon. I mean, it's ridiculous. You basically don't need to reload. It's crazy. Now, like I said, if you're running the 23-inch Romanian, you can't have an underbarrel, but I'm going to unequip that so we can have a look at the underbarrels available to you anyway. So let's say you run the RPK, you have the Bipod Commando foregrip, Merc foregrip, which is the one that I kind of use the most, and then we get down to the bottom tier, or the top tier technically at the bottom. We have the Operator foregrip and the Ranger foregrip, and then the rest of them, you know, you just have like flashes, stun, like all that stuff that you don't want to use. So for me, it's between the Merc, Operator and Ranger. I think I use the Ranger at the moment, purely because of the recoil control and the two stats it provides. So if we have a look at the Merc foregrip, we have recoil control plus hip fire accuracy, and then it deducts aim walking, movement speed, and ADS. If we go down to the Ranger foregrip, we have recoil control and aiming stability, which is better than, I personally think, which is better than hip fire accuracy, and then the cons are exactly the same. So the only reason I run the Ranger grip over the Merc is purely because of that additional pro over hipfire. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've put together exactly how I run this weapon on screen for you guys now, so you can check it out and use it once you unlock all of these attachments. Give it a shot. It's arguably the best gun in the game. It's up there for sure. And I really like the fact that the last barrel that you unlock basically just gives you a foregrip anyway, so you don't need that slot to be taken up, which is so good because you can use the rubberized grip, you can have the compensator on your on the end of your barrel. Like, you can add all of those perks that you need to manage that recoil. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. You are enjoying the grind. I'm going for the FAL next, which I'll be streaming today, which is crazy. But yeah, you'll be seeing the FAL maxed out within the next 24 hours, which is going to be cool as well. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new. Thank you very much for all the support, guys. Like, you're smashing it right now. It's making me feel top tier. Make sure you hit your notification bell so you know when I next upload, and we're trying to get content out, you know, as frequently as possible for you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy playing Modern Warfare, and I'll see you guys on the next video.